So a blog post is, lots of people say, what is it? It is a regular, normally, opinion piece or informational, educational piece that you host on your website and will be a way of sending people to your website. So if you have a blog post on your website, then you can share that on social media, and it is a way of getting people to come onto your website. It is generally, well, I don't know, there used to be 500 words would be enough, but now they're saying they have to be a bit longer. So anything between 500 and 1500 words long, generally with an image. Giving useful information. And quite often it's a good idea to write blog posts which are relevant to what's going on in the news. So the idea of doing it, the reason for doing a blog post, is that you're getting people to come to your website. The other reason for doing a blog post is it's really good for search engine optimization. So search engine optimization is the process of people entering keywords into Google and having your website found, coming up on page one. Now, it's difficult, if not impossible, to have all of your keywords on a standalone website, because there's lots of different ways for people to search for things, and you have to focus each page on a particular keyword phrase these days. So a blog post is a way of capturing all those other keyword phrases. So we create blog posts, for example, about new changes that have just happened to LinkedIn. We've created a blog post about different things you can do on Instagram, and it all goes to A, telling Google what our website's all about, but B, helping Google to put us up into page one if and when people search for those terminologies. Okay? So there's a number of reasons for doing a blog post. The disadvantage of blog posts are that they have to, if you're going to do them, you've got to do them. It's the same with any digital social media. Once you start, you've got to do them, carry on. So they can be quite resource intensive because you have to get people to write the posts. We're working with a client at the moment where we're helping them write their blog posts. And one of the things we're finding is we're having to, it's going back to that whole, what language are you talking in? Because they're talking in language that's quite academic, and we're having to translate it into words that their audience can understand. So even if you can get people to write your posts, you have to make sure they're in the right language, because it's all part of it. So every blog needs a picture, an image, and a title and content. And it's giving your take on something that's going on in the news. So you can see here, GDPR is really big at the moment. So we've given our take on things that we've changed on our website for GDPR. Yeah, so it's a reason for people to go to your website. So it's up in those clicks, it's up in the people coming through to the website. Then they find out more about the brand, they find out more about, they'll click on other pages, they'll learn more about who you are. It establishes your credibility because you'll be talking about the Me Too movement. Yeah. You could even offer them the opportunity to sign up for a newsletter whilst they're reading your blog. Right, but whatever social media channel you use, it's chip paper. It's here today, gone tomorrow. Yeah. Whereas if you could put it on here, on your blog, on your website, it's there forever. Okay? And the way you need to think about it is that everything leads to a website. Your website has to be where your content is. That has to be the main focus of everything that you do. Because all these social media channels, as we've seen this year, can change and develop or shut down, and you've lost all of your audience. So you need to translate as much of your audience onto your website, either because they come to your website because they read your blog post, because they know your brand, or ultimately they sign up for your newsletter. So what you want to do in your newsletter is you want to create a link to your blog post. So what you'll do with our newsletters is we'll have the first couple of lines of this blog post, and then people click through if they want to read more. So again, driving people back to our website. So every time you want to drive people back to your website. Because the more your website traffic goes up, the more you'll appear, well, you don't have a problem appearing in Google search, but generally, the more the traffic goes up, the more you'll appear in Google search, the more you'll be ranked as a high quality site, the more you'll appear in Google search.